what's up you guys? Re-bienvenue à la VIICTIIMINUTE. On a pris une courte pause. C'était expected, man, à cause que justement j'ai reçu mes consoles cette semaine. Fait que sorry about that, le lack de VIICTIIMINUTE cette semaine. Mais you know, next gen had to cover that. Mais là, à partir de maintenant, je pense qu'on devrait être correct pour some straight VIICTIIMINUTE. Peut-être pas à chaque jour parce qu'on approche la période des fêtes également. Fait que ça, tu sais, je m'attends pas à des huge news comme genre la semaine prochaine, ça va être Thanksgiving aux États-Unis. Fait que comme vendredi, même jeudi, je pense pas qu'on va avoir beaucoup d'affaires à couvrir. Mais anyway, pour aujourd'hui, on écoute le Night City Wire numéro 5 sur Cyberpunk 2077. Il parle un peu plus en détail du personnage de Keanu Reeves, Johnny Silverhand, puis montre a bunch of new gameplay stuff. On jase également de nos impressions par rapport à tout ça. Est-ce que Cyberpunk va être universellement aimé? Moi, je pense pas. Moi, je pense que ça va être un jeu très divisive. On verra en temps et lieu à sa sortie le 10 décembre. Sinon, grosse controverse dans le monde compétitif de Super Smash Bros. Spécifiquement Melee. On a Nintendo qui essaye de shut down la communauté complète. Puis ça m'a fucking piss off. On parle de ça. Puis d'autres controverses surrounding le lancement des nouvelles consoles. On a du monde qui se font voler leur paquet Amazon. Some crazy stuff. Fait que j'espère que vous allez passer. Ou en fait, je devrais plutôt dire, je vous souhaite une excellente fin de semaine. La VIICTIIMINUTE va être de retour lundi with more stupid gaming talk and takes and whatnot. Fait que, yeah. Puis moi, je vais passer ma fin de semaine à enjoy my next-gen consoles. Ah, yeah. Actualité. The ball is in Sony's court. Just fucking announce the stuff, please. Critique. Parce que le user score sur Metacritic est à 2.6. Rumeur. I don't know. I'm just sharing this on the internet. Discussion. C'est pas n'importe quel jeu là, c'est fucking Halo, ok? Réaction. Nintendo, what the fuck are you doing? La VIICTIIMINUTE avec Victim. En manchette pour la VIICTIIMINUTE du 20 novembre 2020, Cyberpunk Night City Wire numéro 5 a eu lieu hier. Excusez. Puis on va réécouter la diffusion. Je sais qu'il y a un trailer par rapport à tout ce qui est Johnny Silverhand. Puis tout ce qui est le behind the scenes avec Keanu, which I'm really down to check out. Puis il y a également d'autres petites bits d'informations qui sont sorties là, concernant justement tout ce qui est DMCA puis solutions à prendre avec Cyberpunk. Fait que on va read along through that puis également les previews. Là. Il y a beaucoup d'outlets que je pense qu'ils ont dit qu'ils ont joué à 16 heures ou 6 heures de Cyberpunk. Fait que yeah. Il reste quoi? Il reste 3 semaines avant la sortie de Cyberpunk? Yeah, 1, 2, 3. Fait que 2 semaines et 6 jours avant que Cyberpunk 2077 sorte. Hopefully, il va sortir.
Hello and welcome to Night City Wire episode 5. The show from us at CD Projekt Red, where we talk about all things Cyberpunk 2077. Now we're going to start today's episode with a new trailer that will take a closer look at Johnny Silverhand, before we go behind the scenes with Keanu Reeves.
Yeah, ben on va voir. J'ai écouté comme quelques bouts de la présentation d'hier. Let's see if the hype is brought back.
You might listen to while driving around Night City. Before we take a look at the Jolly technology, which is powering facial animation in Cyberpunk, and unveil a new My Reward scheme which anyone can take part in, no matter which platform you'll be playing Cyberpunk
Alex, l'article au complet.
We'll then
really?
Wrap up today's episode with a brand new gameplay trailer. It's a busy episode, and it will be our final episode of Night City Wire before the game launches on December 10th. So,
confirmed again. C'est un full-on RPG. J'ai vraiment l'impression que ce jeu-là va être crissement divisive.
Gotta get out of here, understand? And I'll kill anyone who gets in my way.
Parce que le monde va s'attendre à quelque chose que c'est juste pas.
Those were memories. You two are connected in a way I can't make head or tail of.
Who? Me and who, Vic?
Tu sais, Last of Us était divisive avec les journalistes.
Johnny Silverhand. Real talk of the town back in my day.
Non, il était plus divisive avec le player que les journalistes, c'est ça que je voulais dire. Mais là, je pense que Cyberpunk va être divisive avec les journalistes.
Right now.
He burned down half the city just to prove he was right. And burned the other half just for fun.
Wait, tu peux jouer en tant que Johnny Silverhand?
Destroy Arasaka. I don't even know what that means.
Do whatever it takes to stop him, defeat him, gut him.
He already tried to take over your body. You know, just for a little while.
Hear me, asshole? A bullet to the fucking brain. Get out! Just get the fuck out!
Tell me how to get rid of it. You don't have much time left. You're a dick, you know.
And you're a cunt. Maybe we'll fit together after all.
Ok.
Sometimes we like to share things with you, and
Ah, mais
other
Deus
times we
Ex,
like
c'est un
secrets,
stealth
and it can be
game.
worth it for that big reveal.
Deus Ex, si on se die plus, c'est un stealth game avec des RPG elements.
At E3 2019. So let's go behind the scenes to see how Keanu Reeves brought rocker boy Johnny Silverhand to life. You could say it's breathtaking.
Ha 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 ha, funny
Cyberpunk
joke.
2077, Johnny Silverhand. I've had the opportunity to do voiceover a few times. I'd worked on a cartoon. I had done some documentaries. I'd never done this much.
Ben, il est
You don't
bizarre.
gotta speak out loud to talk to me. And I've processed some shit. Changed my mind. Don't want you dead anymore.
La façon qu'il parle.
To play a character in so many kind of different ways because
Ça
of
va-tu,
different
Keanu? Are you
paths,
good?
threads or choices. So you almost get to play one moment, say you have a decision. Would you take a bullet for it? With 3 different behavioral attitudes. So that was fun. You know, Johnny's either a dick, or he's happy, or he's trying to convince. Know why? Because you've always been a fucking pussy, Carrie. So it's been fun, and that was kind of what I was interested in. You know, the different options
Non, j'ai pas vu,
that the game
dude.
could play. You know, playing the same person, but with different versions of it. Motion capture, baby. Johnny Silverhand. So one of the first elements that I was involved in with the game was motion capture. I've done a fair bit of motion capture. I did it with in the Matrix films. So to start doing the motion capture for Johnny, it was all very familiar to me. The only difference, I think, technologically was how close they were going to real-time review. But creatively, it was very familiar in the sense of starting a library of gesture and the toolbox, let's say, for the animators to work with for the character.
Hey, il a l'air. Il a l'air à s'y mettre, hein?
So you get to see Johnny as the rock star. You know, you hear about his military past, you know, and he's fighting for his survival. So he's kind of got all of these things leading into the moment of this guy. It's really a kind of an interpretation, because I think there's a Johnny Silverhand in all of us. He's got a lot of energy. He's got a good sense of humor, if not a little dark at times. He's very passionate. He cares. You know, it's he's kind of naive, but he's also super
Holy shit.
experienced in life. He's got certainly an appetite for life. No, you're wrong. He wants to change the world, you know? He has a cause that he wants to fight against the corpocracy.
Come on. Don't tell me you're not interested.
He's kind of looking for a different kind of freedom. Corps have long controlled our lives, taken lots. And now
Milfgard!
At least I believe in
Wow, je vais pas faire avec ça, man! The hell? Milfgard?
What CD Projekt Red has shared with me in the way that they talk about the game and what I've seen is that it's got a lot of freedom. There's so many different paths that you can play the game on. But it's not just quests of paths. It's like, who are you? How do you want to play the character?
If I gotta kill, I'll kill. If I need your body, I'll fucking take it.
You can go to action, you can
Okay.
go to mystery, you can problem solve in different ways. And where you go in this world, there's so
Mais
much
c'est ça, tu peux
details,
jouer en
there's
tant
so
que
many
Johnny.
different
Fait
things
que
that you can go
j'imagine
off
que c'est
into
comme des
that are
side
very
quests que tu
interesting
l'incarnes.
and fun. There's a real drama to the game and emotional stakes to it. And then there's lighter sides to it. And of
Il
course,
est en
the
toi.
music, production design, technologically, how
Tu l'as dans la
cutting edge it
tête.
is. I don't think there'll be a game that
Really?
looks like this. Yeah, it's intense.
I take the driver, you get his sidekick.
Bye-bye.
Well, from Soviet-era synthesizers to body heat radio, it's time to explore the original score and just some of the radio stations you'll be listening to when you're driving around Night City.
Score is the main vessel of emotions in both movies
Ah, c'est ça qu'ils vont
and
annoncer
video
le
games, and
DMCA
Cyberpunk
free
2077
mode.
is no different.
Check dans The Departed, c'est un personnage.
took us a long time to find the right
Yeah, mais dans ces,
color of the music.
dans ces movies plus récents, puis là, on va le voir avec justement le film d'Uncharted, là. Comme, c'est quoi le film? Le film sur le Boston Marathon, là. Ça, j'ai fait quand Mark Wahlberg joue tout le temps le même personnage. Ça le confirme que, genre, Mark Wahlberg joue tout le temps le même bonhomme. Genre, il joue des generic, badass quote unquote, main character d'un film
Getting that sound
d'action.
together is almost as important as the actual look of the game itself.
Nice,
because
c'est ça.
the music is really helping you feel this emotional connection to the game.
What's up, other gaming? Boogie Nights, je sais pas c'est quoi ça.
So one of the main ideas was to take the cyberpunk genre out of the 80s and give it a 90s flair. We took elements from rave, IDM, industrial, and make them fit our narrative purposes.
Ça me dit rien, non?
We've decided that close to the 100% of our music would be purely electronic.
That's why we tried to stick to analog synths as much as possible, so it's got a warmth to it.
I'm super proud of the team we've managed to gather for this project.
For me, it was basically
Damn, avez-vous vu toutes les affaires?
the aesthetic
Ouais,
of the
la
game.
musique.
When I read the brief, I was like, oh, this is going to be great. I can be myself. I
Jesus
can
Christ,
make
toutes les
music.
consoles.
And it come from an honest place.
I love the fact that the music in this game is so varied. So we have some tracks that are super dirty, super heavy, and then we have some tracks that are very beautiful and ambient. I'm using all kinds of different effects. So it's been great to be able to experiment with the sound and the style.
It's my first time actually doing any drum tracking for a video game. It's been really exciting. It's been a lot of fun.
It's all about making you feel like a perfect killing machine, because that's what you are basically.
Well, I can do that all day long. So you'll just have to tell me what you like, and what you don't like.
Cool, okay. It's not going to sound like one thing, depending on what part of the city you're in.
We basically scored every quest pretty much with custom assets created specifically for that quest.
We ended up having over 7.5 hours of music in Cyberpunk.
Working on Cyberpunk has just been...
Juste 7.5? J'aurais pensé plus. Il y a que 7 heures de musique. C'est pas assez. I need more. Je pense pas qu'il va être encore
The gear
poussé.
that we use comes out of boutique shops, or they are vintage synthesizers like this Polyvox.
That is cool.
I really hope all this effort put into creating this score pays off with satisfying and enjoyable listening and gaming experience.
Update can Paul, yeah? It's out for delivery.
Hello, Night City. What's shaking, Night City? Good morning, Night City. Yo, man, Stan here. Ooh, I love this town. Love it like you might love a mother who popped you out on the steps of an orphanage once and now stops you to ask if you got a smoke for her. And now, a shout out to all the lowlifes over at the Atlantis. Ladies and gents, here's that all-time classic in Night City.
Ah yeah, out for delivery.
Soundtrack is one of the key elements we use to build believable world. We've invited artists from around the world.
Hey, what's up, not human?
Incredible talents.
Out for delivery, yeah, Nico.
Write and produce songs just for us for this project.
The soundtrack for Cyberpunk is insane. So the soundtrack being all the songs that they've got going on, whether it's on the radio or on the background, all these just amazing bands.
We've got over 150 custom genre-bending tracks, all waiting for you to discover them by yourselves.
You know, the reason I wanted to be a part of Cyberpunk is...
Grimes.
Basically, I know The Witcher is super sick, and then I actually got to play a preview of the game, which was...
The Witcher's pretty sick.
Incredible.
I've always wanted to do something connected to a video game, so
Gazelle.
I was pretty excited when this came in, and it was like an instant yes.
I was kind of imagining what it would be like being a character in that game. The person that's a musician in this world and this time has grew up.
Oh my god, Nico.
This isn't just some fun shit. There's also an intellectual and spiritual history to this world that's been constructed for you, you know?
We want to provide you with the soundtrack to fucking shit up.
Yes! That's Killer Mikey, awesome. We want to provide you with the soundtrack to fuck shit up. Couldn't have said it any better.
For those of you
What's
who
up, Mr.
can't wait
Fritz?
to hear more from our composers, we're going to be releasing a special 6-track
Je la reçois aujourd'hui.
2077 EP featuring tracks from the game's original score onto streaming services for you to enjoy for free, and they'll be live at the end of this episode, so you can give them a listen later. In addition, if you're planning on live streaming Cyberpunk, or if you just want to make videos, we want to introduce you to a new mode that will allow you to disable certain copyrighted tracks. We know that for content creators, licensed music can sometimes be problematic. So with this new mode, you'll be able to disable a small number of selected tracks which could cause some issues, replacing them with a different song, helping to avoid any problems. If you're going
good on CD Projekt Red de faire ça.
But you can toggle it on and off in the options as needed. And for PC players, you'll be able to turn it on and off in the game options. Don't forget, as with all episodes of Night City Wire, if you're tuning in late or if you just want to watch anything again, we will be uploading everything to our channels soon. Now, from Polish to Chinese. When Cyberpunk launches, it will have VO in 10 different languages. So we're going to take a closer look at the Jolly technology, which is ensuring each and every one is as authentic as possible.
So hi, my name is Sarah Watling. I am the CEO of Jolly Research in Toronto, Ontario.
Yeah,
in this video, we're going to show you a little bit about Jolly the software and Jolly in action within the world of Cyberpunk 2077.
Maintenant, tu vas répondre à mes questions.
Ah, il est fully voiced en français.
Rayfield's mine.
Скажи заплатить 2 раза, заплатишь 2 раза.
Jolly is a suite of tools and a suite of services that result in what we think is the coolest and best and highest quality facial performance on characters.
Oh.
Huh.
Is that supposed to sound familiar?
It's automatically generated on a face based on audio dialogue, audio speech from a voice actor.
Whoa!
Slow, deep breaths.
Ça, c'est next level, là.
Adrenaline spiked, but the soft activated your hormone blockers. Nothing happened. You're alive and well.
What Jolly tries to do is it tries to get to the root of what is being expressed in the vocal performance and put that on a 3D character.
That's Rogue. Best fixer in all of Night City.
There is just an incredible amount of performance in this game.
Sure.
A procedural solution allows you to animate over and over and over again at tremendous scale. Jolly is what powers every single character in the game of
Oh, parce que,
Cyberpunk 2077.
hey, s'il fallait qu'il hand animate toutes les lignes de dialogue pour les 10 pour les 10 différentes langues. Ce jeu-là aurait jamais sorti. Je suis pas à Cyberpunk, c'était à 22 pouces. Non, c'est ça. Dude. Hey! C'est impressionnant pour vrai. Genre, je savais même pas qu'il y avait un software qui faisait ça, qui était capable de comme animer selon le dialogue qui était dit.
In all of the languages that the game has been localized for.
Ahora escúchame. Este mierdas de Anthony Gilchrist. ¿Es tu contacto? Hat Infos zum Konvoi durchsickern lassen?
All you're doing is changing an attribute. For example, speech style. If you wanted your character to shout instead of mumble, instead of issuing a set of commands that redo the animation, instead you click an attribute going from, in this case, mumble to shout.
But you walk. You bleed, but you walk. You bleed,
Huh.
but you walk. You breed.
If the lip sync is right, you don't notice. If the faces match and match the performance, you don't notice because you're too busy paying attention to how awesome the game is, how much you care about these characters, what you're gonna do, and that's what we want. That to me is that's the sizzle.
Yeah.
Don't you know you owe the sheriff a word when you pay his town a visit? To tell him what's brought you here. Maybe even over a cup of coffee.
Parce que souvent, ce qui arrive, admettons que admettons que justement, comme le facial animation ou l'animation de la bouche est comme weird, je vais faire comme ok, c'est bizarre, puis justement, ça te pull away de l'expérience, t'es pas immersed. I mean, pour vrai, comme. Tu sais, j'ai bien beau dire que je sais pas si ce jeu-là va être un succès pour tout le monde. Mais comme en termes de technical achievement, je pense que ça va être comme Red Dead Redemption 2 level de technical advancement pour le medium qui est les jeux vidéo.
Digital and in-game rewards for Cyberpunk 2077. It's our way of saying thank you for your support.
What's up, Spicy?
Now, every copy of the game comes with digital download.
Ouais, c'est ça, c'est une expérience.
The artbook, the original score, and a digital comic, all from the Cyberpunk universe.
Holy shit.
But there's more. You can also claim in-game items for Cyberpunk 2077.
Ooh.
For example, you could be rocking the Wolf School jacket for simply connecting the game to your GOG account.
C'est bien cool,
if
ça.
you have other CD Projekt Red games, such as The Witcher or Gwent, you can get even more. And it works both ways. If you connect the game to your GOG account, you can also unlock special in-game items for Gwent, the Witcher card game, such as the samurai-inspired card and coin back, and the breathtaking title.
Okay.
Now, this new My Reward program is for everybody. No matter which platform you're playing Cyberpunk on, you'll be able to get your digital goodies and in-game items. Now, this is just the beginning, and there'll be more items coming in the future, and we'll have more information on My Rewards soon. As always, don't forget that if you've missed anything or if you just want to watch again, we will be uploading everything to our channels soon. So before we take a look at that new gameplay trailer, we just want to reveal that a number of games media from all over the world have been playing Cyberpunk 2077.
On va y venir à ça. Mais oui, Spicy, dans le fond, ce qu'il disait, c'est qu'ils ont fait affaire avec un studio à Toronto, puis le jeu est localisé en 10 langues différentes. Fait que ce qu'il expliquait dans la vidéo, c'est que ce studio-là, ils ont comme une technologie qui fait en sorte que ils sont capables d'animer. Le software est capable de mimic le facial animation de la bouche selon ce qui est dit. Parce que, oublie ça, là, si le jeu fallait qu'il soit hand animated pour les 10 différentes langues avec le paquet de dialogues que dans ce jeu-là ne serait. Ce jeu-là, 2024, man. Ce serait un Metroid Prime 4 type game. Mais ça doit quasiment, genre, simplifier la tâche. Est-ce que ce jeu-là a l'air d'être comme. Ah, man. J'espère qu'ils vont avoir un behind the scenes documentary sur ce jeu-là.
And you'll be able to read their latest.
Je veux vraiment voir comment ils ont fait créer ce jeu-là.
So you can go and check them
Ça m'intéresse plus que de play the actual game.
Let's wrap up this episode and take a look at that brand new gameplay trailer.
They got a lock on us. Engine's been hit.
Get us out of here.
I'm losing control.
At CD Projekt Red, we dedicate ourselves to telling immersive stories. Yet with every new project, we set out to make our games bigger, more complex, deeply engaging.
Come on, V. Let's get you home.
Cyberpunk 2077 marries exploration of a vast open world with kinetic combat,
Comme dans Ghost Horizon ici, je trouve que c'est injouable en français parce que le lip sync est way off. Mais c'est ça, là, le lip sync français serait comme adapté pour la langue. Ah, et avoine croquante aux amandes sont fucking good. Ado. Mais là, c'est une autre sorte de avoine croquante. Il sort le 10 décembre. Le Momo.
With most of the continent degenerating into lawless war zones, people from all over have converged on the already overcrowded Night City, one of the world's last great megalopolises. A hub amassing the best in resources and know-how, and home to manufacturers of cutting-edge technologies, Night City continues to offer the promise of a civilized future.
What? No, this isn't happening.
But it is! But in the city's streets, a merciless struggle for power rages. Gangs, corporate agents, hustlers, religious cultists, and all manner of criminals strive to outplay one another. Ordinary people.
Mais je doute que je vais être comme, oh my god, it's the greatest game ever.
In Night City, I seek revenge. Much more feasible here.
Vous savez comment que je suis? Wahoo!
In this world, consumed by never-ending conflict, sometimes only an outsider will get the job done.
Elizabeth tells me you have answers for us. I'm all ears.
And that's you, an urban mercenary, a cyber-enhanced gun for hire.
You seem to understand each other. Take this, too.
As a mercenary, you swear no allegiance. You've chosen the outlaw life and trust that your abilities will carry you up Night City's ruthless, underground social ladder.
Exact, spicy.
That's it right there.
To thrive as a merc, you need the right combination of gear, skills, and reputation.
Dex had a load to say about you. I hope he
Mais je pense pas que ça va être un nice stream game, to be honest.
You can turn yourself into a living weapon, buying guns and enhancements in the hundreds.
Parce que comme Alexis dit, faut que tu sois investi, genre.
As you roam the city streets, you gain the experience you need to upgrade abilities and acquire perks.
Un coffret, genre un deluxe edition?
Gear to create a gunslinger with inhuman reflexes.
Ouais, c'est le genre de jeu que tu joues tout seul. Dans ton salon.
With command of all surrounding tech. Or practically anyone in between. In Cyberpunk 2077, you steal a prototype biochip that can set you up for life.
Being filthy rich.
When its sealed container is ruptured, the only way to prevent the biochip from failing is to slot it into your head. It turns out it contains the digitized soul of Johnny Silverhand, a dead rocker boy with violence on his mind.
You mean to say there's an actual terrorist in my head, right now?
He's out for revenge. Aims to bring down the megacorp that made the chip.
Do whatever it takes to stop him, defeat him, gut him.
What is in your head can shift the balance of power in Night City. The high and mighty will do anything to lay their hands on it.
Told you I'd end you someday.
The choices you make will shape your story and determine how events unfold.
V, you gotta take him down. That's why we're here.
But not everything in Night City is a matter of life and death. Sometimes it's about style, choosing your look, your ride, your pastime.
Damn, c'est un comprehensive trailer.
Choosing how
Ça,
you
là.
spend your dirty money. Welcome to the next generation of open world adventure. Immerse yourself in Cyberpunk 2077.
En tout cas, si tu connaissais rien par rapport au jeu, ce trailer fait une bonne job de te faire un résumé très rapide. Plays great also on Xbox Series X and PS5. Si on regarde le preview de IGN. We spent 16 hours in Cyberpunk 2077's dense, stunning Night City and found an immense amount of depth and choices to explore in this mammoth of an RPG. Let's watch the video preview by Tom.
What's shaking Night City? Good morning, Night City!
Mon Dieu.
Playing a whopping 16
Relax.
hours of Cyberpunk 2077, I feel like I've only just started to scratch below
Je pense que l'œil nu peut pas voir plus que 90.
Is dense and stunning, packed with adrenaline-filled shootouts, compelling conversations, and a copious amount of choices to explore. 2020's most anticipated game certainly isn't without its rough edges, but once I made it past Cyberpunk 2077's lengthy prologue, it clicked. And now all I want is more.
Okay.
No, no. This isn't happening.
Oh, but it is.
Cyberpunk 2077 is a surprisingly slow burn, with an immense amount of options and depth. I only truly got a grasp of its pace and structure about 8 hours in, and spent the second 8 settling into what it actually felt like to play. Avoiding spoilers entirely, the prologue is essentially a microcosm of the larger game. It's a fun introduction to the world and its characters, but it wasn't until its end that Cyberpunk 2077 really sank its hooks into me. It's a slow walk to get there, but all that setup makes the larger story you're eventually thrust into that much more compelling.
J'entends que le début est slow là. Il y en a tellement qui vont comme se décourager, vont être comme aïe, c'est tellement long comme start, puis ils vont juste jamais le finir, ou ils vont juste jamais le continuer. Mais tu sais, en même temps, c'est un jeu qu'il faut comme tu build up, fait que I understand, mais comme je vous le dis. Il va y avoir des gamers qui vont faire des estis de ties sur Reddit de Cyberpunk fucking sucks.
What do you want from me?
I can already
From
see
there,
it.
Night City opens up wide. You're kicked into the world with a larger goal and a list of side quests already so long you could spend days on it before even looking at the central story. Night City's fairly cluttered map is immediately filled with points of interest, gangs to fight, and missions to complete. In addition
Where's
to
the
story-driven
gameplay?
main quest lines, there are more personal side
What's up,
missions that
Feliciana?
break off of them, alongside niche activities like bare-knuckle boxing fights. Cyberpunk 2077 empowers you with a shopping list of interesting stuff and just says go. The stories being told were largely pretty great too.
Ah
I'm
ouais,
excited to
Richie.
see how the main
Mais
plot
c'est pour ça que je
plays
pense
out,
que ça sera
both in
pas
a
un bon
grand
stream
sense
game.
and with specific impressively acted characters I've already grown attached to. Side missions were also a lot of fun, whether they had me infiltrating enemy buildings, tracking down silly rogue AI taxis, or partaking in genuinely touching moments like going to a funeral. It's impossible to say how that quality will hold up over what appears to be a downright massive campaign, but I appreciated Cyberpunk 2077 was willing to have intimate human conversations even when its world is filled with excess and flash. Unfortunately, with any game this ambitious, some spots are bound to be rougher than others, and while the quests themselves were entertaining, the way they're managed seemed lacking. Cyberpunk 2077's quest log is a big, messy list, offering no information on what a quest will reward upon completion and only a vague indication of how its difficulty compares to your current level. If it's going to give me this many things to do at once, then I wish there were better tools to inform my decisions about the order to do them in. Thankfully, one of my favorite things to do was just drive. Simply put, Night City is stunning. I don't think I've ever seen another video game city quite like it. It's
Really?
gorgeous, rich in detail, and with a verticality and scale that's genuinely amazing. There's a fast travel system available, but I honestly felt like I was missing out anytime I used it. Unlike other open-world RPGs like Fallout 4 or The Witcher 3, for example, combat isn't an inherent part of that travel either. If I wanted to go from point A to point B, I could do so without worrying about being jumped. As a result, I sometimes went hours at a time without ever drawing a weapon, completing missions just by having conversations and sneaking around a bit.
Mais c'est ça, parce que ça va please vraiment comme un crowd qui cherche un RPG. Le monde là qui s'attend à genre, oh ouais, un fucking jeu où est-ce que je peux tirer du monde dans un monde cyberpunk, shit like that. Hey, ils vont frapper un esti de mur quand c'est du blabla, pis oh my god, dude. Parce que c'est pas comme The Witcher. Ben, j'ai joué genre 1 heure à The Witcher, là. Mais The Witcher, t'as comme pas le choix de fight your way through some quest. Dans ce jeu-là, tu peux faire comme. I guess que tu pourrais le faire le jeu sans genre tirer du gun au complet. selon la manière que tu joues.
Smaller fights can be found around almost any corner, but you sort of have to go looking for trouble between big quest encounters if you want it. This is fundamentally an RPG, not an action game, and the focus here still feels centered around story and player choice despite its FPS combat. I didn't mind those larger chunks of quiet either, as I generally enjoyed Cyberpunk 2077's dialogue more than its combat. It's certainly not bad, but if you're playing this like a straight FPS, then you'll probably be disappointed.
Je pense que c'est ça qui va arriver pour a lot of people.
Health, often acting as bullet sponges that can take multiple shots to the head. It wasn't until deep into my playtime where I felt the combat really started to gel.
Bullet sponges?
Once I had unlocked a few more options and specialized weapons. By the end, I was sneaking into rooms, getting off a hack to reveal enemy positions, using a chargeable rifle to then shoot them through the wall from another room, and then pulling out a legendary katana if anybody got too close.
Oh my god!
The spongy health bars were still there, but I think this is where the strength of Cyberpunk 2077's combat lies. It didn't necessarily amaze me in the heat of any given fight, but the vibe, style, and sheer volume of choices let me find something that had me personally grinning from ear to ear. There are loads of systems to support whichever playstyle is most appealing to you, be they weapon types, stat-based improvements, or cybernetic augmentations. Once I stealthily cleared out an entire 4-floor base without ever firing a shot, while other times my character's high body stat let me rip open doors and rush straight in. I left Cyberpunk 2077 hungry for more, and it certainly has more to offer. Night City is rad as hell, a gorgeous world that you could get lost in a dozen different ways. Much like even the excellent Witcher 3 before it though, it's certainly not without its rough edges. But they didn't stop what it does well from shining brightly. Even after 16 hours, I feel like I've only just started to experience everything here, and it only got more exciting the deeper I went. For more on Cyberpunk 2077, check out some Series X gameplay, or its latest trailer. And for everything else, keep it right here on IGN.
Rad as hell, your age is showing reviewer. En tout cas, tune in à la VIICTIIMINUTE quand le embargo va être lifté pour ce jeu-là. Parce que... Yo. Poursuivons avec some really exciting stuff. J'aurais jamais pensé que IO Interactive travaillerait sur un jeu de James Bond. Mais hier, ça a été annoncé comme quoi que les développeurs de Hitman ainsi que Kanye and Lynch sont en train de travailler sur un 007 game intitulé Project 007 pour l'instant. On connaît vraiment rien à part le fait que c'est une histoire originale de James Bond qui va raconter son origin story de comment il est devenu un agent 00. Puis other than that, that's pretty much all we know. Fait que, tu sais, on sait pas c'est qui l'acteur qui va incarner Bond. Est-ce qu'on va même voir sa face? Elle sait pas. But yeah, let's watch the teaser trailer for that. With the sweet music. Oh, ça fait 8 ans depuis le dernier jeu de James Bond, Tunable. 8 ans. Le dernier jeu, c'était 007 Legends. Ça fait longtemps, là. Yes. À la Uncharted? T'aimerais un James Bond à la Uncharted, Alexis? Ben, c'est sûr que ça serait cool qu'il y ait des action set pieces comme Uncharted, mais je pense que pour que ça fonctionne puis que ça soit comme vraiment une réussite, ce jeu-là, faudrait que ça soit un mix des old school James Bond games, genre Nightfire. C'est quoi le jeu qui était avant Nightfire? Il me semble qu'il y en avait un aussi. Il y a 3 James Bond games que je me souviens. T'avais Nightfire, t'avais Double or Nothing, t'en avais un autre. Agent Under Fire, drette ça, Tunable. Faut que ce soit un mix. Oh mais GoldenEye c'est trop vieux. C'est trop vieux GoldenEye, je le classifie pas. Mais faut que ça soit un mix de ces trois-là. Plus comme some modern stuff à la Uncharted, je pense que ça pourrait fucking fonctionner là. Un mix de stealth pis de action, dude, ça serait insane. Give it to me right fucking now. Ça va sur le site du jeu, ça dit It's Bond. James Bond. Project 007 working title is a brand new James Bond video game to be developed and published by IO Interactive. Featuring a wholly original Bond story, players will step into the shoes of the world's favorite secret agent to earn their 00 status in the very first James Bond origin story. IO Interactive is currently recruiting elite talent from around the world to join the team that will build out this exciting and unique gaming title. Fait que on verra pas ce jeu-là d'ici. Ça va être. Ça, c'est genre un jeu de 2023. Peut-être, ouais, 2023, je pense. Puis, tu sais, comme. Si on regarde les previous work de IO Interactive, tu sais, Hitman, il y a vraiment plus une emphase sur le stealth. Fait que, tu sais, ils ont déjà comme un catalogue avec des jeux de stealth. Fait que. Bond Prime 4 2024. Bond ou Prime 4 en premier. J'aimerais ça dire Prime 4, mais je doute. Je doute que Prime 4 va être avant Bond. Alright! Là, I'ma put my ranting hat on. Nintendo. I hate you. I love you so much. But I fucking hate you so much. Comme vous savez, je suis un vendu Nintendo. Hein? Mario, one of my favorite franchises. Zelda, my favorite franchise. Mais là, they are just taking stupid decisions qui n'ont pas de sens. Fait que je vous explique la situation. Hier, Nintendo est allé de l'avant. Et en fait, let me back this up. Super Smash Bros. Melee est un des fighting games qui est encore supporté grandement, malgré le fait que c'est un jeu qui date de 2001. Là, avec le COVID, ça a comme mis un peu la communauté. Ça a mis des bâtons dans les roues des plans de la communauté parce que vous pouvez pas avoir de in-person tournaments. Fait que la seule option que les players avaient pour pouvoir continuer à jouer à Melee, c'était de utiliser le netplay sur un Dolphin Emulator, sauf que ça laguait. Suite à ça, il y a un des membres de la communauté qui s'appelle Fizzy qui a développé quelque chose qui s'appelle Slippy. Puis c'était un mod de Super Smash Bros. Melee qui était littéralement comme si tu jouais en LAN mais online. Puis il y avait le rollback netcode qui faisait en sorte que c'était un smooth experience across the board. Puis c'est ça, encore une fois, c'était comme si t'étais dans un in-person event. Mais c'est pas une version comme légale, tu sais. Faut que tu downloades un ISO de Melee pour y jouer. Faut que tu downloades un emulator. Shit like that. Fait que Nintendo a pas aimé ça. Fait que là, ils sont allés de l'avant. Puis ils ont ordonné un cease and desist à un des plus gros tournois de Smash Brothers. Autant Ultimate que Melee. À cause de ça, de Big House. Puis mais c'est ça l'affaire qui arrive, ok? C'est parce que, tu sais, people want Melee online. Nintendo, ils le donneront pas parce que c'est Nintendo. Le fucking netcode de Ultimate, il est garbage. Puis on est en pandémie mondiale. On peut pas se rassembler pour jouer to your fucking game. Puis le jeu date de 2001. So what's the point? Pourquoi vous faites ça? It does not make any sense. Genre, c'est que vous pensez que le fait que le monde joue à un jeu qui date de 2001 sur un emulator va nuire l'image de Nintendo, va nuire aux ventes de Ultimate? What? That makes no sense. Fait que si on lit le statement de The Big House, ils ont tweet out hier. The big house is heartbroken to share we've received a cease and desist from Nintendo of America Incorporated to cancel our upcoming online event. We were informed we do not have permission to host or broadcast the event, primarily due to the usage of Slippy, qui est justement ce que j'ai expliqué, le mod de Super Smash Bros. Melee. Sadly, all our competitions are affected. We are forced to comply with the order and cancel the Big House Online for both Melee and Ultimate. Refund information will be sent shortly. We apologize to all those impacted. Hey, c'est bad là! Maybe il y a de quoi in the works? 5 ans MS a envoyé un season 10 pour Halo Online. Je pense pas. Je pense pas, c'est Nintendo. Je vous rappelle, c'est Nintendo. Ils ont essayé de faire la même affaire en 2013 avec Evo, où est-ce que Melee allait être mis en vedette. Puis Nintendo était comme non, vous faites pas de tournoi de Super Smash Brothers. On ne tolérera pas ça. Puis là, la communauté, il y a une communauté outcry, elle s'est rassemblée, elle a envoyé des courriels, ils ont appelé chez Nintendo, ils ont fait des pétitions, puis ça a fait en sorte que Melee est comme revenu. Puis ça a fait en sorte que ça a explosé. Puis là, Melee, c'est une des raisons pourquoi Melee est encore genre dans la conversation de top fighting games. Puis même Melee est so sick to watch. Je peux pas comprendre. Je comprends pas le raisonnement. Anyway, j'ai l'impression que j'explique mal la situation. C'est pour ça que j'ai la vidéo de Hungry Box qui explique tout ça plus en détail. Mais yeah, Nintendo ont sorti un statement face à tout ça. Disant Nintendo appreciates the love and dedication the fighting game community has for the Super Smash Bros. Series. We have partnered with numerous Super Smash Bros. Tournaments in the past and have hosted our own online and offline tournaments for the game, and we plan to continue that support in the future. Le prize pool pour Smash est genre le pire prize pool de n'importe quel fighting game. What do you mean? Okay? Vos online events suck. Vos Super Smash Bros. Tournaments, ils ont des items. What do you mean? What do you mean? Unfortunately, the upcoming Big House Tournament announced plans to host an online tournament for Super Smash Bros. Melee that requires use of illegally copied versions of the game in conjunction with a mod called Slippy during their online event. Nintendo therefore contacted the tournament organizers to ask them to stop. They refused, leaving Nintendo no choice but to step in to order to protect its intellectual property and brands. Nintendo cannot condone or allow piracy of its intellectual property. Which is funny enough, parce que ça a été prouvé comme quoi que les versions de Mario 64, Mario Sunshine et Mario Galaxy dans le style 3D All-Stars Collection run sur des emulated versions du jeu. Mais on peut pas utiliser un emulator pour avoir un fucking tournoi de Melee. C'est justement ça que Leffen dit. Absolute PR bullshit. Slippy does not require illegally obtained versions of the game to function. Backing up games and emulation has been proven several times to be legal in US court cases. Hashtag FreeMelee. Ça a été le hashtag d'hier. Là. Ça a été trending on Twitter. Fait que je vous laisse avec Hungry Box. Ils n'ont pas trouvé le ROM de Galaxy 2. Je vous laisse avec Hungry Box qui explique the entire situation vraiment plus en détail. Hungry Box qui est le numéro 1, le joueur numéro 1 justement de Melee avant la pandémie, là, bien entendu. Mais c'est ça l'affaire, c'est qu'on est en pandémie. C'est la seule façon que le monde peut...
Hey everyone, today I'm making a video not because I really feel that I'm excited to, but because I need to speak my voice on this. Just moments ago, it was announced that the Big House Online received a cease and desist from Nintendo of America. I have the tweet pulled up right here. To cancel the upcoming online event due to the fact that they are not allowed to use Slippy, which is the only form of Melee we have right now during a pandemic. Slippy allows us to play with rollback netcode from a distance in a time where people can't congregate together in venues. In other words, for a game like Melee, whose lifeblood and life source as a competitive scene is based upon tournaments that happen in person, Slippy made, you know, with the tireless effort by Fizzy and others, this was, you know, the only chance that Melee had to live during a pandemic, considering the fact that locals, regionals are frowned upon, but even locals are frowned upon during this time, especially today, where as of yesterday, the COVID cases daily in the United States hit an all-time high. The Big House is forced to comply for both Melee and Ultimate, so refund information will be sent shortly. We apologize to all of those impacted. Now, I don't know if Ultimate needed to be canceled, but I think just for the fact that Melee was canceled, they also felt the need to also cancel Ultimate as a result. This isn't the only thing that happened, though. This is not the only thing that happened, because if you look also at the Beyond the Summit Twitch channel, all of the Slippy Champions Leagues videos, all the VODs on Twitch, have been removed. This is a massive, massive sign of an impending disaster. Nintendo has now gone out of their way to remove the only chance that Melee had to remain a competitive game during a pandemic, for the sole fact that it's using a modification necessary for the game to even exist. It's as if Nintendo doesn't even want their game to be shown at all online on Twitch. It's as if Nintendo doesn't even want their fan base to be happy over having a user-built modification built solely out of the love of the game to make it exist to keep happening. When people see Melee, they see Smash Bros. When they see Smash Bros, they get interested in the scene. Maybe they buy more copies of Ultimate. Maybe they start playing more Smash in general. Maybe they go to GameStop and they find some used copy of Melee, whatever it is. Now look, you want me to play the devil's advocate? We will. We'll talk about the elephant in the room. Yeah. We're all playing Melee right now on ISOs of the game. We are. Like there's no looking around it. You can't have an online form of Melee without having a modded form of the game, which is directly ripped from the file of the disc itself. It's just how it is right now. My question is to Nintendo, and my question is for the umpteenth time, because I felt like I've been a broken record saying this every single time, what is the actual point of doing this?
Tu sais, est-ce que ça va... Genre, people are not buying Melee en 2020. Fait que même si... What is the point? Genre, Melee is fucking sick to look at competitively. I don't understand le raisonnement.
Why are you taking away the one thing this community has left? What is to be gained? Do you think it affects sales of Ultimate? Nintendo, you are a company. We haven't seen eye to eye on so many things. And I get that there's legal ramifications, but instead of going so far to just pluck this online, this beautiful spectator sport away from the last clutches of what we have, what if there was a middle ground? What
c'est parce que la communauté de Smash Bros, c'est pas juste Ultimate.
The big deal about this, the people are simply showing you what we've desired the entire time, which is an online form of Melee, which is an online form of any Smash game that has a proper code that allows us to enjoy the game from a distance, especially in the time of a crisis. And frankly, I'm not going to stand for this. As of right now, it's 3:42 p.m. Eastern, November 19th, 2020, as I'm recording this. Summit 10 online is happening.
Oui, mais leur esti de New Smash Game sucks online, Adro. C'est ça que Nintendo comprend pas. Si t'es comme, ok, on va vous écouter, Smash Community, on va faire en sorte que Ultimate run bien online, qu'il y ait du rollback. No! The game lags every time. C'est la raison pourquoi j'ai drop Smash Brothers, parce que this game online is garbanzo, straight up garbage. Puis la raison que, en plus que là on est dans une situation de pandémie, une des raisons pourquoi je continue à jouer online, c'est à cause justement des tournois, des locals. Mais là il n'y en a plus. Mais j'ai droppé les jeux. Certains que les organisateurs vont voir Nintendo en disant 30% du cash, c'est pour vous, Nintendo serait bien plus cool. Oui, mais l'affaire qui arrive, Babouche, c'est que c'est tout grassroots. C'est des communities qui se rassemblent puis qui ramassent de l'argent. Nintendo doesn't give a fuck, mais ils sont comme non, non, non! Non, non, non! Nous, on décide que vous avez pas le droit de faire ça.
Right now. Is
Oui,
it
Alex.
going to be canceled in the middle of the broadcast after everyone's been
Le documentaire,
practicing
là.
and warming up for it? I get
Chef's
that, sure.
kiss.
My stance on Melee has been different and back and forth in that, but even I have behind the scenes, I have been playing, I have been warming up, and for this to happen, for you to tell me that the one chance now that people have to actually grind the game more so than they ever have before against people all over the world with a beautifully implemented netcode. If you tell me that's gone,
what's up, Grumpy?
then what chance does Melee have? And I put it here in my tweet because it has to be said. This is the beginning of the end. Either COVID dies or Melee dies. Because if Nintendo does this, which unfortunately in their legal ability
C'est un HyperX Quadcaster,
as they want,
je pense.
if this is the case, Melee Online and Melee in a pandemic can no longer exist. And everyone is forced to play from their streams and do their own unranked matches or direct matches until things are over. But in terms of actual competitions, which is the celebration, which is what Melee stands for, if we can't have competitions until COVID is gone and the vaccines are not only created but implemented, distributed, everything goes without a hitch, and people start showing up to events again, it's we've got a long way to go. We've got a very, very long way to go.
Je les ai finis les céréales.
Like frankly, I'm very worried about this. It's just there's no reason that Nintendo. I just don't get it. I just don't understand this.
Ouais, mais l'affaire aussi à drôle, c'est que faut que le jeu soit online. T'sais, ben, pas nécessairement. Actually, c'est pas vrai. T'sais, dans une situation où est-ce qu'on n'est pas en pandémie, si t'as Melee sur la Switch, it's fine, parce que le monde va quand même pouvoir y jouer. Mais tu sais aussi, Melee, c'est très... Ça, c'est une autre affaire. Melee, c'est très genre spécifique qu'est-ce qu'il te faut pour le e-sport. Ça te prend des TV cathodiques, ça te prend la version sur GameCube, genre le vanilla version. Tu comprends? Fait comme si, admettons, ils sortent Melee sur Switch, pis que ça lag, il y a du input lag à cause que c'est pas sur la console d'origine, le monde ne sera pas content. You know? Fait que... Vas-tu brailler? Ben, dude, c'est sa fucking carrière, Alexis. Le gars, il fait de l'argent, il s'est bâti son everything avec Melee, pis là, Nintendo est comme, non, you can't play the game anymore. Not in the pandemic, not online. Tu sais, c'est triste, là. Ben, c'est ça, justement, JM.
Especially given the fact that we all remember, and you can pull this up, and I'll probably my editors can show some B-roll of this. Nintendo tried to make Evo, which would use the fully legal version of the game, the fully vanilla version of the game. They tried to have Melee not be at Evo.
Ça là, c'est encore... Ça là, en 2013, that was fucking completely mind-blowing. Puis peut-être que en 2013, c'était comme, ouais, on veut que vous showcasez plus le nouveau Smash Game. I get that. Mais quand même, ça reste que c'était la version de base de Melee. Puis t'es comme, non, you can't show that in a tournament. You can't show that on Twitch. Dude! La raison pour que j'ai découvert la communauté de Smash Melee puis tout le esports aspect de Melee, c'est à cause de Evo, man. Il y a genre 200 000 personnes qui regardent Evo, puis à chaque année, Smash est genre le headliner parce que c'est tellement exciting to watch. Mais Nintendo, c'est comme, oh no, you can't showcase that. Asti, on peut savoir des fuck Nintendo dans la chat. Hey, là, je suis mad.
Which was obviously 200 times more confusing. And when that happened, the entire community came together and they all sent them the emails, they all sent them the phone calls, they sent them everything that we could to show them this is not the right call. And when Nintendo allowed Melee to be back at Evo, suddenly a new esport flourished. Suddenly, Melee became one of the most celebrated fighting games of all time because they decided to give a shit, which is all this really boils down to.
Fuck Halo.
You know, I get that there's laws in place. I get that there's bigger machinations behind the main picture of what you see. I get that Melee in a video game isn't just some form of art that someone magically, you know, poofed out of existence. I get that it was countless hours of work, countless hours of people making sure everything is okay to make a project happen. I get that there's much, much more behind this than I or most people can see, and the only people who really know what's going on is Nintendo, is the creators of the game. I get that. I get that I'm just a guy on my computer who happened to be good at pressing the buttons at the right time to make a career out of it, ranting on his screen about it. But I'm going to say this. Sometimes just because it's what's written on paper, sometimes it's just because that's how the rules are, doesn't mean it's right. Sometimes circumstances change. And sometimes circumstances
On est en pandémie mondiale.
For the greater happiness of the world. And
People
in this case,
are stuck
our
at
small
home.
corner of the world, the Melee community needs this. I don't care what your opinion is about Netplay or Slippy. I don't care. It's even share my opinion about it and all that, or what it is. It's not CRT. It's not vanilla. Fuck all of that. Anyone objectively who can see from the outsider knows how important Slippy is to the Melee scene. Anyone who knows what Melee has gone through, what Melee has survived through, knows that this is the next natural step until things resume to some form of normal. And so, Nintendo, you're probably not going to watch this. You're probably not going to see what I say. A lot of the times I've said things to you, and to this day I still don't understand why Melee has been treated so often as this neglected mistake that you want everyone to
exactly.
That's not there. I love Melee. I love Ultimate. I've loved every form of Smash, at least for a while too. I'm not just some elitist for the game. I love the series in general. But I would not be here if it was not for the opportunities presented by Melee, especially if it was not for the opportunities that you allowed to happen when Melee was at EVO. I don't know where my life would be right now. But all I know is that Melee gives a life to a lot of people, far greater than me, far distant than me, and everyone right now, in a time when we don't know what's going to happen, needs this game. They need that sort of escape. And for this to happen, to take away just one last glimmer of hope that we had right now, it's not just wrong. It's evil. Please do the right thing. And I hope everyone watching this reaches out to Nintendo the same way that we did during EVO. The second war we have to fight now.
The second war.
The right thing for everyone.
C'est the age of calamity. Fait que that's fight the war for Melee. For the good of Melee. Puis là j'ai des impressions de la communauté justement. Destroy an evil Nintendo Empire. On a Bobby Scar qui est un commentator de Melee depuis très longtemps qui dit: In this time of social isolation, a nearly 19-year-old game called Super Smash Bros. Melee connects a community of tens of thousands of people worldwide. We created Slippy so we could play the game we love online, but once again, business threatens to destroy what we've built. This isn't the first time our humble community has come together to do something incredible only to attract unwanted attention from corporate lawyers. Our last major run-in was in 2013 after we contributed over $96,000 to breast cancer research. Parce que cette année-là, pour EVO, le monde, il donnait pour un jeu en particulier qu'il voulait voir à l'événement. Puis le monde ont donné pour Melee. Puis la Nintendo était comme, nah, oui, ils pouvaient pas faire ça. MS ont fait ça pour Halo Online. Ils ont. Les gars de consultation ont dit MC une mod friendly. Mais l'affaire qui est différente avec Halo Online, Podvin, c'est que Halo Online, c'était une affaire qui was doing his own thing pendant un petit bout. Tu sais, c'était pas établi. Il y avait pas des tournois de Halo Online pendant comme des années. Tu comprends? Là, Melee, là, ça fait depuis God knows how long que c'est un e-sport in the FGC. Il dit, but thanks to an outcry from people on Twitter, Reddit, and everywhere else, Nintendo went back on their decision and allowed us to share our game with the world at EVO. Thanks to people like you, 2013 was one of the greatest years in Melee history. Puis, s'il y en a qui sont intéressés d'en savoir plus de qu'est-ce que je parle, puis de tout qu'est-ce qui est le Melee scene, comme, je me rappelle plus c'est qui a dit tantôt, mais Melee documentary de Smash Brothers, là, si vous avez genre 4 heures à investir, là, écoutez ce documentaire-là, là, fucking genius. It is so great. Vous voyez justement comment que la communauté a évolué. Puis it's some good fucking stuff, let me tell you. Puis là, il y a une pétition qui a été faite pour ça. With your help, you can do it again. So if you think that Nintendo's done wrong, if you think community is important and ought to be protected, if you believe games are meant to be played, or if you just want to see some humanity, please, for goodness sake, speak #FreeMelee. Yo, la communauté de Smash has had a shit year. Pour vrai, là. Avec tout ce qui est allegations, pandemic, fuck. Il y a combien de personnes qui ont signé la pétition? Juste 7000, dude. That's kinda sad. Je pensais qu'il y en aurait plus. Hier, il y en avait genre 2000 quand je l'ai signé. Sinon, j'ai d'autres impressions de pro players. On a None qui dit, not very family friendly are you, Nintendo? Disgraceful is the world. It almost makes me think they don't want me to stay isolated in the middle of a pandemic. #FreeMelee. On a Mango qui est le 4e joueur mondial de Melee qui dit, remember this when you buy their shitty Pokemon game for the 100th time. I kinda don't want to buy Hyrule Warriors just à cause de... Like, I'm gonna fucking buy it regardless. On a Hugs qui est un top 20 player, si je me trompe pas, qui dit Nintendo will use their player brands built through our own grassroots efforts to promote their new games. Then, not only do they not help us grow, they actively prevent us from growing on our own. So tired of this company. On a Leffen qui est le 2e meilleur joueur de Melee. I hope other gaming communities realize that if Nintendo gets away with this, it opens the door up for every game publisher to cease and desist any tournament series that doesn't allow their rules perfectly. They are doing this because of Slippy, but since Slippy is legal, due to it being simple code injection with no assets from Nintendo, they use the outdated copyright system to take down the tournaments anyway. The same can and will be done for YouTube videos, streams, Twitter videos, you name it. Seriously, we need to show that this is not okay. They went back on it once in 2013 after trying to cancel a tournament that, again, was completely legal and raised almost $100,000 for charity. Publishers tried to do the same thing with Dragon Ball FighterZ recently too, and eventually gave in after all the negative publicity. So spread this however you can, call Nintendo America and email them, and be nice and respectful when you do it. This decision was not made by some dude sitting in customer support. Get #FreeMelee trending and get another one tomorrow. I'll make a YouTube video about it tomorrow as well. Also check out sleepy.gg to say screw Nintendo in the best way possible. An easy and free way to play Melee online with amazing netcode and instant matchmaking. Genre en masse, ils vont être plus gamer friendly après. C'est ça le problème, comme on dit, de roule les nipples quand un Nintendo game sort. On a Tempo Axe qui dit, please let me play my favorite video game. Super Smash Bros. Melee has brought me so much joy and I want to share with the world and Nintendo America free Melee. On a Armada qui est l'ancien numéro 1 au monde qui dit, of all the shit from Nintendo, this takes the prize. It's a global pandemic going on and Nintendo once again wants the competitive scene to suffer. Is it too much to ask that people can play and compete in games from home during this time? #FreeMelee. On a EMG Moki qui dit, joueur canadien by the way, qui dit, all of my friends' income and entire livelihood are all due to Melee. Without Melee, I have literally nothing and I know I'm not the only one. It's unbelievably fucked that Nintendo goes out of their way to kill our community and time and time again when it's helped so many people. #FreeMelee. On a Nintendo, qui est un ancien pro, qui maintenant organise des tournois de Smash, qui dit Please let me play my favorite video game online with my friends safely from home during this global pandemic. Again, global pandemic, Nintendo. On a Hitch, qui dit Nintendo made the best video game of all time in 2001, and on multiple occasions since then, it seems like they don't want anyone to play it. It's so sad, it makes no sense. Hashtag FreeMelee. Puis on a Toph, qui est un autre commentator. He dit, I quit my job as a senior software engineer in March to pursue full-time content around the game I love. I wanted to believe in the scene and community. This is hard for me. I'm sorry if it's impacting my commentary today. Hashtag FreeMelee. To be clear, Big N is only in their legal right as the rights holders to shut down any stream of their game. It's the same story with DMC on Twitch. It is simply that most publishers don't because esports/streaming have become marketing tools in the modern gaming ecosystem. The clearest example of this recently is Among Us, a 2018 game that exploded with popularity this year because of live streams. Most modern pub devs crave this community-driven success. A few antiquated ones operate closer to the IRAA model of shut down what we can't control. It really isn't even about the money anymore. Even Nintendo does not make a dime off of Melee sales in 2020. C'est mon point de tantôt. And yes, I realize and stress this does not matter, but Lord knows every OG, me included, has purchased upwards of 20 copies of the game back in the day anyway. Like, there you have it. Hashtag FreeMelee. That is fuck Nintendo. Sinon, dans les free games sur le Epic Game Store, on a Elite Dangerous ainsi que The World Next Door qui sont gratuits. Prochain jeu qui va être gratuit à partir du 26 novembre, c'est Mud Runner. Ok. C'est pas des jeux qui m'attirent particulièrement. The World Next Door, je sais même pas ça ressemble à quoi. Elite Dangerous, ça c'est genre space type game simulation, je pense. Among Us maintenant. Among Us, ils ont un Twitter account. Pour ceux qui ne savaient pas, ils ont un official Twitter account. Puis ils ont annoncé de un qu'il allait avoir quelque chose qui allait être revealed au Game Awards. Pas mal sûr que Among Us s'en vient sur console. I mean, why the hell would they be at the Game Awards? Oh, ils vont annoncer un update sur iOS? Ouh, non, je pense bien qu'il y ait une version console s'en vient. It will make sense. Inner Sloth doit avoir fait so much fucking money with that game. Avec le boost en popularity. Puis ils ont également teasé une nouvelle map qui ressemble à something out of Space Invaders. Non, ils ont dit qu'Among Us 2 c'était Canned qui allait modifier le jeu de base. Fait que, moi ma prédiction c'est console version. On verra si c'est le cas or not. Good job Inner Slot. Moi j'ai joué en avril avant que ce soit cool. Really, Podvin? C'était un Among Us hipster. Controversy in the gaming world. On aime ça, controversies. Ça fait longtemps qu'on n'a pas entendu parler du jeu d'Ubisoft Skull and Bones. Puis là, il est dans l'autre nouvelle, pas pour les bonnes raisons, parce que le head de Ubisoft Singapore s'est fait crisser dehors suite à, guess what? Allegations. Again, corporate people chez Ubisoft. I don't know what. Ben, c'est ça l'affaire, c'est que c'est beaucoup de monde chez Ubisoft qui se font dénoncer, mais il doit en avoir partout dans le video game industry. C'est juste que Ubisoft, c'est genre back to back. Là. Yves, il doit faire comme. The gods it, can we hire some people who aren't sex addicts? Hugues Gricourt, the man in charge of overseeing Ubisoft Singapore studio, which is currently developing Skull and Bones, has been removed from that position following the result of a leadership audit, according to a copy of an internal company email sent out earlier this week and obtained by Kotaku. Mais ils se font dénoncer parce qu'ils sont pas fins. Ça n'a pas rapport avec le sexe. Ouais, non, il y en a que c'est par rapport avec le sexe, il y en a que c'est juste comme toxic behavior. Mais t'as raison. J'ai utilisé cet exemple-là, mais c'était un peu trop généralisé. Ricoeur had been in that role since early 2018 and was responsible for overseeing the studio's many projects, which include not just Ubisoft's upcoming pirate ship combat game, but co-production responsibilities on the Assassin's Creed series and the upcoming Immortals Phoenix Rising, formerly called Gods and Monsters. Effective immediately, Hugues Ricourt is no longer managing director of Ubisoft Singapore, reads the email from Ubisoft Chief Studios Operating Officer Virginie Haas, who took over that position in August amid the company's ongoing Me Too reckoning. The results on the leadership audit that was conducted in the last few weeks by our external partners make it impossible for him to continue in this position. It remains unclear if Ricourt has been fired from the company or simply removed from his current management position. The news comes after an August 14th investigation into workplace abuse by Ubisoft by Gamasutra, which reported that Ricourt had been accused by multiple sources of sexual harassment, including making suggestive comments about what women were wearing and soliciting kisses at work events. Sources Kotaku have spoken with over the last several months says that Ricourt's management style and behavior at work was problematic, citing bullying, demeaning comments, and retaliatory action against those perceived to have stood up to him. Ricourt and Ubisoft did not immediately respond to a request for comment. Voyons. La misère. Revealed at E3 2017 as a naval warfare game inspired by Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag. Skull and Bones was originally supposed to come out the following year, but has since been delayed multiple times. In July of this year, VGC reported that the game had been rebooted. Puis on a un update. A spokesperson for Ubisoft told Kotaku in an email that Ricourt has not been terminated and will continue on at the company, just not in Singapore. That's bizarre. We can confirm that Hugues Ricourt is both stepping down from his role as MD, as managing director, and also leaving the Singapore studio, but will remain at Ubisoft, the spokesperson said. Interesting. Toxic behavior, mais il reste dans la compagnie. Okay, this is weird. This is interesting. Par exemple, c'est très... c'est quand même un peu far stretch, là. J'ai lu l'article ce matin. J'étais comme... Ça, c'est Games Radar. C'est-tu fiable? Fait que PlayStation boss hints at a response to Xbox Game Pass. Frottage de main excessif. Sony's Jim Ryan has hinted that PlayStation may have a response to Xbox Game Pass in the works. Speaking to Russian outlet TASS this week, Ryan was asked how Sony plans to respond to Microsoft's Game Pass initiative. There is actually news to come, but just not today, Ryan answered. We have PlayStation Now, which is our subscription service, and that is available in a number of markets. Yes, but it's not good! Fuck! Fait qu'il y a rien dans l'article qui dit, là, c'est juste que, hey, il y a something in the work potentially, on verra down the road si... ben, tu sais, il y a également PlayStation Plus Collection, qui pourrait être le Game Pass, mais en même temps, t'as juste une sélection spécifique. Apparemment, il y a du monde qui ont commandé des PlayStation 5 sur Amazon, puis qui ont reçu plein d'affaires, mais pas de PS5. Amazon PlayStation 5 customers report receiving toys, cat food, or simply nothing at all. What? Box resealed or deliveries not attempted and numerous consoles missing. Uh-oh. Il y a du monde qui vont se faire taper ses doigts chez Amazon. Imagine securing a PlayStation 5 for launch day, anxiously waiting for your console to arrive, then opening its box to find a kitchen appliance instead, or cat food, or nothing ever being delivered at all, despite your order being marked as completed. That's what has happened to a number of Amazon UK customers over the past 24 hours. In a situation which has left people trying to get a refund, and with PS5 stock severely limited, the task of finding a console all over again. Okay, je comprends qu'est-ce que vous dites. The first sporadic reports of the wrong items being delivered initially seemed too unlikely to be true, but they kept on appearing late into last night before the issue started to blow up more widely today. Additionally, within Eurogamer, we've now heard from friends and colleagues personally affected. Ah, oui, ça, moi, Goldin, j'aurais ride in the streets, man. The wrong items included in each box are different, but the accounts are similar. A delayed delivery, then an Amazon box with clear tape rather than the company's usual branded seal, Push Square managing director Anthony Dickens was one of those affected, alongside MTV journalist and presenter Bex April May. Hey, Nerf gun, dude! Looks like someone has stolen my day late PS5 right out of the box. Wrong item. Where can I get help? Ah, yo, je serais tellement mad. Le gars, il a switcheroo, man. Mais est-ce qu'il y a du monde qui ont commandé du Catmove et qui ont reçu une PS5? Bonne question. Happy PS5 day, everyone. Tried to document one of our unveiling, but Amazon have tricked us with a unsolicited air fryer instead. After giving delivery password. Anyone who also had this problem today? Non, je pense pas que c'est ça, c'est Amazon. Je pense que c'est du monde qui ont ouvert pis que... What the fuck? This is what my PS5 looks like. Lol. Fuck you, Amazon. Est-ce que je serais mad? Ouvre la boîte. Wait, this is a foot massager? I didn't order no foot massager. The exact same thing happened to me. I got a George Foreman grill. Looked like the box had been opened at some point as well. Now I can't get a replacement because there is no stock anywhere in the UK, even though I pre-ordered it 2 months in advance. Dude! That sucks! Le monde font exprès, mais en même temps, la grosseur de la boîte brune et un dead giveaway, tu peux rapidement savoir que c'est une PS5. Easy to steal. J'ai-tu encore ma boîte? Non, je l'ai plus, c'est vrai. Ma boîte écrit PS5 dessus, tu sais. Oh my god. So, went to open my PlayStation 5 that I ordered from Amazon and found this. Someone has replaced it with rice. Wish I was joking. Esti de calice du riz, man. Tu peux même pas faire comme... Ah, ok, tu sais, j'ai un George Foreman grill pour compenser. Non, du riz, calice. Du riz. Wonder Woman, Alexis. On a une date de sortie pour Wonder Woman qui va être disponible non seulement dans les cinémas le 25 décembre, just in time for Christmas, ainsi que sur HBO Max. Fait qu'une alternative pour le film, pour qu'il soit delayed indéfiniment comme plusieurs films in the movie world. C'est ce qui conclut la Victiminute d'aujourd'hui. Fait que dernière Victiminute de la semaine. Ça a pas été la semaine... Ben en fait, c'est pas vrai. Parce qu'on a été servi en content cette semaine. C'est juste que avec les unboxings pis tout ça, il y a eu moins de Victiminutes. But as usual, vous pouvez trouver ce merveilleux talk show. Pour le moment, on verra down the road. Peut-être qu'on va être dans les major radio platforms. Mais pour l'instant, la Victiminute est disponible sur Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, ainsi que YouTube. Puis si jamais vous voulez avoir les headlines... TikTok, @victim pour tout ce qui est grande ligne de la Victiminute. Justement, il faut que je finisse d'éditer un TikTok sur Hitman tout à l'heure. Fait qu'après le stream, je vais mettre là-dessus. Fait que for the sake of the people that are watching on YouTube, je vais mettre le petit stream ending, mais le stream vient pas là. Fait que don't panic là. Mais pour faire un nice outro pour ceux qui nous écoutent en version audio et en version vidéo, on se voit lundi prochain. N'oubliez pas, next week, on commence le stream. Ben en fait, lundi prochain, on commence le stream un peu plus tôt avec some Mando Talk. Fait que si vous voulez choisir le dernier épisode de Mandalorian, je vous invite à tune in à 8h45 pour un spoiler-friendly talk de Mando. Sinon, le Gauntlets, as usual, vous pouvez voter pour soit Pokémon ou Super Mario. Puis, yeah, take care. On se voit lundi. Merci d'avoir tuné in pour une autre Victiminute. Ciao, bye. I mean, c'est dans le même timeline. Ça serait dans le même timeline, tu sais, 2 semaines. Tu sais, c'est pas une nouvelle console, la Switch Pro. Ça reste la même console. Ça reste la Switch. Fait que le jeu va quand même disponible pour la Switch de base. Fait que c'est comme pas un launch title. Mais... ouais.